Parsay Productions is bringing you back nine coverage of round one, Cedar Creek Open 2020 edition, brought to you by OTB Disc, Gotta Go, Gotta Throw, and Gravity Disc. Myself, Ben Kroll, on the mic.
And Derek Sahr, and we are back with the second half of round one, Cedar Creek. We are so excited to bring you this coverage, and we just want to give a huge thank you to you guys raising the money for us to be able to do this, getting the data recovered. This footage is amazing. These guys are shredding this course. Let's get right into it. Hole 10, par 4, 285 feet. Now don't get fooled with the distance here. It is quite a ways uphill, and then you have to land about where that camera took its left, and you have a long putt for eagle, but getting a birdie on this 3 is an amazing feeling because the tunnel is so tight.
Yes, it's always fun to see an eagle, but get in early like Noah's doing. Got a little lucky on that push out for sure. If you get in there early, it can be very tough getting out. And as you saw, 3 of our competitors here at 6 down. This is Cedar Creek East, the easier of the 3 courses at this public property. Again, our TD, Trevor Boehne, doing amazing things for this community here, and the community themselves also giving back and taking care of this course, taking care of this property.
Absolutely, and this wind is always a headwind with that tunnel coming straight there. I feel like it's like a pocket, just 24/7 headwind coming out of this. So I really like Garett's play. He throws a driver up this hill. You just want to push it as straight as you can, as far as you can, and you're usually looking at a pretty easy birdie from there.
Yeah, once you get past this hole, it is very open out there, so that's where all this wind's coming from now. We've been kind of avoiding it the last few holes as we played through a bunch of tunnels. Yeah, there you see. It happens once in a while. You can really get up there and give yourself a look for an eagle.
Jake opting, I'm not sure what disc this is. Could be one of his harps, as they are not extremely stable, and put himself in a decent spot for the birdie look.
Yeah, not too shabby. Might have a tree to kind of deal with, but he'll be looking at a birdie putt, and that's all you're looking at on this hole.
Garett shorting his upshot and getting a nice kick off that tree. Sitting all right. Noah having to go kind of high, but oh, wow. He is a master of the woods golf. I'll tell you what, he can scramble better than anybody out there.
Now, this looks just outside here for Cale. Solid. His putt is looking real good today.
Yeah, and that eagle feels great. Maybe just at circle's edge here, uphill putt. Never a doubt, right when it left his hand. So cool to see Cale get this eagle. You do have to get a little bit lucky through the trees, but even if you do hit early and you have a great shot, you have a long jump putt for the eagle.
Playback there, brought to you by OTB Disc. Thanks for the support. Big stretch here for Jake. I think that's the biggest tree of the bunch he's trying to get around.
Yeah, I wonder if he just doesn't have a look through the V there. Oh, a little right, but those chains can push you if you're too flat on the right side, and exactly that happened to Jake, and Garett's looking to capitalize on this putt here.
Yep, center stripe right on the pole. Way to take advantage of that lucky kick forward. Again, they've cleaned up that corner a little bit more than it has been in the past, but still a few trees to beat.
Yeah, and another thing to note, where Jake was putting from, that used to be extremely wooded and kind of a mangled mess, but they cleaned that up, which I think made the hole even better. So big shout out to the Fairmont Disc Golf Club there.
Cale again getting that extra stick on the rest of the card, and probably a lot of the field as well. Brings us into hole 11, par 4, 465 feet, and this is a tough hole. You can see all these trees shaking. It is very windy usually on this part of the course any day, and today seems very windy. And you really got to penetrate this gap. You can do it with a big ante and give yourself a look at an eagle. You'll probably see Noah, maybe even Cale getting there as well too. Really all you need is a hyzer though here off the tee. And Cale even just going mid-range, just trying to get to that landing zone, I think.
Hit the back door.
Yeah, went a little too long. That can be tough from in there. You might not have much at all. But you got two plays. Either play for that kind of layup, get your birdie, or go big ante here. It's got to hold. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. That takes a special shot to get there, that's for sure.
Such a amazing angle control by Noah there to keep it tilted and finishing pretty straight at the end, honestly.
Oh my God, he did it yesterday.
Garett, who has a real big arm. And
Taylor.
And that's hole 12's tee pad that he hyzered back out into, but very fortunate because he could have got tagged by those early branches, and it is very tough early right there.
Jake has quite a large forehand, so I could see him getting all the way to the basket here.
Yeah, I've played on this card, and I think I've actually seen him get the eagle before on this hole.
I don't think so either. I think that was short.
It feels like it was short, but I saw some heads turning there on the next tee pad. I think he's out there at least for a putt or up and down at the very minimum.
And Cale making kind of one of the two mistakes of either going too straight or finishing right, going too straight on this one.
Thumber. Looks like his FX2.
I believe Cale has a baseball background.
Yeah, he'll throw this thumb every once in a while if he really needs it. Gives himself a circle's edge putt.
Garett, I'm sure just trying to get this one close. Because you have this steep right to left sloping hill, and I've seen some pretty nasty things happen on this hillside.
Yeah, even that got up and got pretty weird. Gave him 20 feet or more. And Lauber getting up here, man. Probably just outside the circle. But nothing but air behind the basket.
Gotta want it.
Cale not getting any basket at all.
Yeah, he didn't look very comfortable in that jump putt. Didn't look like a natural Cale. A little bit of struggle on the green for this card at the moment.
It's a little tricky green.
It really is.
It gives you a weird perspective when you're short of the hole, like all these guys were putting from.
I think this is maybe the most difficult green to putt on as well. You have a lake actually on the bottom of this hillside where you're getting some weird winds, and again, like Ben said, you have that hillside which just does mess with your vision a little bit.
Everybody making their comeback putts, though. And it looks like just Noah and Jake will be taking their birdies, and Cale and Garett, unfortunately, getting their pars on. Again, it's a par 4. It just feels like you should get a 3 on it every time.
Yeah, even laying up to that gap where you want to go right at it brings up a pretty easy upshot from there. You just can't go too long is the only misfire from there. Alrighty, hole 12, par 3, 205 feet. This is such a touchy hole. You want to throw something overstable. I've seen people throw overstable backhand. I've seen people throw thumbers over the top, big forehands over the top. You name it, anything to get into that green. And it's a well-guarded green as well.
Yeah, people like this little forehand putter shot that just curls really quick. but you can get into a lot of trouble with that as well.
I forgot that Noah likes that forehand putter roller on this hole.
Yeah, you don't see it very often.
Hit and drop.
Jake a little more standard. The backhand hyzer with his justice.
Yeah, I don't like that as much either. You're kind of playing plinko, hoping to get lucky. Good thing we're not in California. No 2-meter rule at all here.
Yep.
But I like the low skip shot. You just kind of got to know where you want the disc to land. Cale taking his A3. I think he's going to try to hit that. It's a really tight gap. You're hitting way down the fairway. It's hard to know exactly where to put it.
Yeah, you're right. I like Cale's line as well because you know the disc is going to finish left, and as long as you get it out there, you'll have at least a jump putt or a long jumper.
Yep, typically you're going to give yourself something.
Garett's throwing a pig here. Cedar Creek Open stamp pig.
Yeah, you saw how much touch he put on that. He barely threw it. 205 feet and probably downhill 30 feet or more. Probably more like 50.
You got yours, Jake? Yeah, go for it, bud.
And by his reaction, it looked like he liked the shot.
Dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Trying to take those low routes, it's easy to go long. Very easy.
Wonderful two by Cale.
Where you at?
I feel like this hole just really isn't birdied as much as you think it would be.
And even Garett, he's got a long reach here for his 20-foot par putt.
Having to stretch out left. Great putt by Garett from the knee. That one always feels good, getting those straddle knee putts, because these other courses, they demand putts like that pretty consistently.
Looked like Jake's Plinko played off for him. He's only got about 15 feet left.
And I mentioned this in the earlier coverage, but I do like that Jake sticks to a routine. Him and I have talked about it, that it's very, very key to putting. It's just have a routine and stick with it, whether you're 100 feet out jump putting or you're 10 feet out putting.
Yeah, it's always, it takes the emotions out of the putt. It definitely helps, I feel like.
Couple birdies, couple pars. It's tight at the top though. Neg 9, 2 neg 8s, and neg 5 from Garett. Garett looking to pick it up here though.
Yeah, it brings him to hole 13, 360 feet. One of my favorite holes on the course. Getting at the lake on that left side. A lot of trees though, really protect it. Gotta get a nice little kind of righty backhand flip up turnover that just fades into this hole. If you are going to throw that forehand or lefty backhand, that left side tree line definitely comes into play late in the fairway.
And Jake throwing a stiletto, which is not a flippy disc in the slightest. But even finishing right on that side, you'll have a look at it, I'm sure.
There can be some itchy bush over there, but hopefully you got past it.
That's right. I think there's a lot of itchweed, you're right, on that right side.
Cale, I mean, just throwing an M4 on a 360-foot line. That is just money, dude.
I don't think you could draw up a better flight path than that one right there.
I think Noah also going mid, but this is a little bit more stable of a disc. Really good line on it. Pushing that ceiling for sure.
Garett's throwing a leopard here. That one's actually from my trunk.
Straight from Derek's trunk. Very good looking slow turnover. Wow, got there quick. Oh man. Got all 400 feet of distance on it, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Jake really got up here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, his his forehand got way up here, and this is not a slouch of a distance of a hole as well. And what a great putt out of Jake. I think he's in those itchweed. I think the thing right in front of him.
I think he is too. Even Garett might be in it going a little long. I think I had a putt from there one year for my par.
Luckily, you only got a few holes left after this one, but your legs they're feeling it.
Oh, yep. You can see it's all around him. Yeah, just find a quick water spot at the lake next to you. Great putt from these guys.
Oh, you see him jumping over it, too. He knows.
Yeah, they're going to be burning here in a second.
Oh, yeah. Those are all stinging nettle.
Great concentration right on the pole.
Yeah, it seems that they didn't let those putting blunders get to them too much on 2 holes previous, which is the pro mindset you got to have. Just, you miss a putt, it's all right. It's putt to putt. There's no such thing as a bad putting day until the day is actually over.
Great philosophy there by the great Derek Sahr. And we have a star frame on probably one of the tougher holes on this east course. That is just awesome to see from this card.
Yeah, crazy action.
Cale double
Wow.
digits with 5 holes left still.
And 10 down is a great round on East. You know, if you finish 10 down, you're feeling amazing.
Yeah, but these next few holes are kind of treacherous.
And hole 14 here, 270 feet. You kind of follow this snaking stream, essentially. I wouldn't call it a river. I'd consider it more of a stream. But the basket's kind of in a difficult location. These guys will more than likely be throwing a mid-range up the gut and hyzering off. But that stream plays along the entire fairway, which you can go into.
And this is a good line there from Jake. Might have came up a little short. Should be on the putting green. Cale throwing one of his stable M4s.
Sit down.
Oh, that was ace running and probably only 20 feet long maybe.
And you see the reaction from Cale. That water is about 35, 40 feet left of the basket. Maybe even a little less.
And Noah's lucky that the creek is very low right now. It can be all the way up to the edge of the grass line for sure, and he just found a little dirt spot out there.
Get around it.
And Garett is not fortunate.
You can see Garrett's disc just sitting in there.
Oh, the last one. Come on.
He's still got a putt, but I think it's going to be outside the circle, about 45, 50 feet.
It's a easy hole to get into a lot of danger. As you see Noah and Garett kind of struggling up the fairway a little bit, and the humidity's coming into play, getting all that chalk on the hands.
Getting that powder. But yeah, it's a good 60 feet here. This is a tough putt. Not his normal lofty putt either. A little bit of breeze kept that disc up, and he's got a comeback putt.
Yeah, what a beautiful hole. You got the lake in the background, and you're right, that breeze does come off that lake right there. But Cale's not fazed by it. Surprise, surprise. Cale with another birdie.
Yeah, it just looks so clean coming out right now.
Nice, smooth putt. No doubter at this point for Cale.
And Jake actually got up here a little further than I thought. He's only got about 22 feet left.
Yeah, he saw a little bit of rise on that putt from the headwind, but he knows how to play that right in the heart of the chains. Garett putting for his bogey.
Wow. Great confidence from the young man.
Wonderful putt from Noah.
Yeah, with how lofty his putt is, it really got grabbed by the wind there and almost came up short.
Yeah, this hole proving to be showing its teeth on East here. A couple bogeys and a couple birdies.
And we have another double-digit score here at Jake. And again, another treacherous hole. Hole 15, it slopes all the way down to that creek. I don't know if I've ever actually seen anybody get pushed or skip down to the creek, but a lot of rollaway potential on this green. And it's only 235 feet, but I think most of these players are going to be playing mid-ranges. It definitely plays closer to 300, I would say. It is very uphill. And tight gap here.
Jake played it very well, even having the disc finish to the right, so he has an uphill putt at the basket.
Yeah, looked like he got some action. Might have pushed him off close to the circle's edge, though. Cale, I think, throwing that same disc we just saw him throw. And that's not terrible either. Cale telling it what to do. Sometimes you got to talk to it. Smooth looking shot from Noah.
Great shot.
Yeah, they're pin height at least with the hillside and probably only about 15, 20 feet short.
Yeah, it's very hard to get the height on this shot, but these players are just making it look so easy.
Don't get weird. Thank you. Yeah, just parked right there. And that was 4 for 4 through the gap as well, which does not happen very often. These guys are showing off their skills. They're all warmed up now, too, getting towards the end of their round. Great balance by Cale. It is definitely his touch that kept that disc in. These bastards are kind of known for pushing a little off to that right side, but he just smoothed that in.
Yeah, what an impressive putt. Very uphill. He had to put a lot of mustard on that thing and just squeaking in.
Yeah, he knew that was a kind of a 50-50 bid or not if that stays. And, yeah, Jake did push a little long right here, but I think the luxury is definitely putting uphill at this basket.
Just a bit high left. He wasn't laying up by any means. It's so inclined, this green is, and you can throw off your balance when you're throwing those putts.
And no, a little shorter than I thought he was, but solid on that 25, 30-foot look.
It's so interesting to see Noah's disc just, it's angled down when it's out of his hand, and he knows how to control that thing so well.
Yeah, and coming at that angle, at least on flat ground, it stays close, and I think that's the biggest thing. He doesn't have a ton of three putt holes, that's for sure.
What a great view with the lake in the background, and Garett's pretty solid form, you know.
Yeah, it's okay, solid form. We got 3 birdies there. Jake left out, but he was very close to joining the crew.
Hole 16, par 3, 275 feet. This hole is completely blind. You throw a little uphill to begin with, and then it falls off very hard, finishing towards the left. You want your disc to just penetrate pretty straight, honestly. There's a lot of trees to deal with. As you see, a pretty common theme on this course is all of the tunnel shots, and they're doing another.
Yeah, it really takes like a flippy putter or flippy mid and throw it inside hyzer like Cale just did and have it flip up, 2/3 of the way down the fairway. And I actually kind of aim at missing left, even 20 or 30 feet. Because if you go a little too straight, there's about 3 trees in the way. I thought Cale threw a good line. I think he'll be up there pretty close, though. And no, I think going a little too straight. But you miss those trees, and you can still come in late as well.
Yeah, and there is that creek on the right side. I don't see a lot of discs getting that way, but Noah's getting straighter. That has the potential.
Again, Garett also going very straight. Now it's getting close to that creek, I think, as well.
I believe this is a harp from Jake.
Yeah, that's that first tree of those 3 that we were talking about.
And this green is so well guarded. Those 2 guardian trees that you see right by the basket, so many discs hit those.
High expectations to be smashing 80-footers, but he gave it a bid. Garett knew it. I think he's hit that band 3 or 4 times today.
This would put Noah to 10. Oh.
What happened? Oh, my.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happened here.
I think it hit I thought dead center.
I think it touched the band and went straight down.
It did kind of look like it was flopping. Yeah, I think you're right. It wasn't the angle we could really tell for sure, but when it hit the chains, it had some wobble to it, which it didn't have when it was coming down.
And what's interesting is his disc is nose down when it hits it, so you'd think it would just slop right into the basket.
Yeah.
And this would put Cale to 13 under par on hole 16.
Yeah, that's kind of the landing zone I was talking about. It's hard to get much closer than that unless you have a flex forehand. Cale just looking good with those putters, though.
Oh, and that's another thing, too. I was wondering why Cale had a flag in his hand. So they have spotters on all of their blind holes. And as you see, they do an exceptional job at marking your disc as well. And huge shout out to all the volunteers that make this tournament possible. I mean, it wouldn't be half the tournament it is without you guys.
Yeah, this Fairmont disc golf community is just an amazing community. We get here and these courses are just pristine. They look awesome. They're well kept. Cale again, 13 down, still a couple holes to go. Hole 17, 300 feet or so, just dead straight. Again, Cale's kind of shot. You do have these few trees here. You have to get a little low to miss them or just be right in that center gap. And then we have a path we're going over again that's OB, but I don't think these guys are really going to be pushing that at all.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if anybody's going to take... Jake may take the forehand gap. If you throw it just past that pine on the left, you can actually get a decent little skip towards the basket. I know Cale's going to be throwing up the gut.
Stay up, stay up.
And it's not so bad. He's probably circle's edge. Turned over just a little bit on him. There's probably some wind here again that they weren't feeling the last couple holes.
Yeah, that tree eats a lot of discs. That Heiser out just a little early with that mid-range or putter shot.
Yeah, this really benefits just that straight shot.
Wonderfully played by Garett. That's a totally fine shot. A little unlucky off that tree on the end, but even being in the circle on this hole is a little difficult.
Yeah, it always feels a little weird when you play a couple tight holes through the woods and you come out here to a more open shot, or at least your gap's later down the fairway. Sometimes that later gap is hard to hit. Your eyes just aren't perceptually, it's not a good perceptive view for you, I guess, after being in the woods.
Yeah, it always feels easier to putt in the woods than it is in a wide open course. It's a very interesting concept. And Jake's shot,
Yeah.
not too bad.
I think it was peered,
Yeah.
and so was Cale's putt.
To 14 under. I don't know what the course record is, but I'm going to assume he's chasing it right now.
Gotta think he's close. Yep, solid look there for Garett. His putting, again, he hit 3 or 4 bands. Otherwise, he'd be right there at 10 down as well.
Yeah, if you can hit that 10 down mark, you know you're feeling very good about your round at East.
I feel like Noah's gotten a little flat here towards the end, and he was pushing for that double digits as well, too, and one more hole to do it.
Yeah, I'd love to see Noah get double digits here to finish it off on hole 18, par 3, 165 feet. Don't let the short distance deceive you. You have to hit this tunnel shot, and those bushes on the right-hand side gobble more disc than anywhere else on this entire course. The play is a soft putter just right at it. I have seen people throw forehands into the hillside as well. But Cale's maybe first misfire of the round there.
Yeah, it's so frustrating not getting this hole. Like that gap is what, maybe 4 feet wide. It is a very, very tight gap. The camera does not do this justice. What?
Oh, no way.
Dead center.
That was completely dead center.
Maybe a little hot, but come on.
Oh, look at that.
He put the hands up and everything. It spun in the chains for a second, too. Wow.
It's pushed it right back at him. Wow, poor Garett.
That's just kind of been his round. It's been so close, yet not quite there with these other guys. Little pulled from Jake, not much. Could have got through.
Those are those trees on the right. It's crazy how many discs go into there. And Noah doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But getting a little luckier, having about a 35-footer, 30-footer there.
Yeah, and this is a good green to run. You might even see Cale give this a bid from back here. It's all uphill. There's a path maybe 20, 30 feet, but it's hard to give it that much speed. Let's go. He's trying.
Yeah, and isn't that interesting how sometimes you have that amazing round and then you come up on one of the easier holes and you miss it, but, oh, Jake.
He had a good round.
Yeah.
Jake was hitting putts, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or parking it.
It's so crazy that these guys are just filleting this course, this entire card. Even Garett shooting, not as hot as the others, he's still up in the mix.
Yep. That was just a perfect putt. I don't even know what else to say about it. Gotta throw with the playback of Jake Lauber there.
And Jake is a very determined player. He is a pleasure to play with and everything, but you definitely know when he's in the zone and he's feeling himself and really getting his game going.
He's a competitor. Yeah, and Noah hitting his putt as well. I think Cale's going to be left out, unfortunately. Yeah, again, thank you all viewers. Anybody who donated, again, for the retrieval of this data, this coverage. Again, $3,000 in less than a week. So, again, that's a huge shout out for all of you, as well as our sponsors. We have OTB Disc, Gotta Go, Gotta Throw, and Gravity Disc. This is just the first round. We have 2 more full 18-hole rounds plus a final 9. I think you guys are going to want to come back.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will hopefully catch you on the next round. Derek Sahr.
Ben Kroll signing off. Take it easy, guys.